Good morning, everybody. Ace of Trades this morning. The Bible says in Psalm 68:19, "Blessed be the Lord who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation, Selah." So truly we can acknowledge that we've been loaded with benefits, especially where I'm from, the United States of America. Um, all right, so overnight here's our overnight high and our overnight low, and we've got one leg down, two legs down, and then you've got one leg up, two legs up here, and then this pushes back down. You don't really get two legs, but more of like a downtrend, a break, and a new low into the support area, which maybe prevented that from making two legs down, the support here. So then we had, um, if we take this out of the picture, we had kind of, you can see the one leg, kind of like two legs there, and second leg up. Um, this is kind of sideways for me, um, but we can see how potentially this could have been an entry here. Um, Still aggressive to me, but might have been one you considered. And so then I drew this, and we've got kind of looks like this narrow uptrend working. We are into two legs up here, so got to be careful about taking along. You're into an area here where you hit resistance before, so just got to be careful going long into that. You might get two legs down here. Um, this could be a trend. A little careful about going long for two reasons. One leg up, two legs up, and into this level where you hit resistance before. So not super high probability in my opinion because of those two factors. Um, I think I'm just going to pass on any um, potential entries here for now. Now, if this holds here, this structure holds and keeps moving up, then then I'll consider this structure for taking trades off of. But it looks like um, looks like it wants to hold. You got basically conflicting contexts here. This trend moving up and this resistance here. So we'll see what happens if this guy punches up through here and we continue holding this, and the bulls defeat basically two legs up here. I mean, you've got two legs up on two instances here. One, two, one, two into this resistance area. So me personally, gonna be careful about longing in here because of those two reasons. So we'll just sit and watch and see if how this plays out. This could, hold this level. Looks like it just dumped. We have news. Did not check the news, so I will check the news. Uh, it's 9:47. That's an odd time to have news, so I doubt there was news. But I'm gonna close this out for now. Not close it out, but just pause the video and I'm gonna go check my news. Should have done that at the beginning there. All right, so I just popped over Forex Factory, check the news here. Nothing on the 9th. Um, so yeah, it looks like we're struggling with this area. This potential trend has broken and now pushing up to a new high. So just gonna watch this and see how the structure plays out for now. Talk to you again soon. Okay, everybody, just a quick update here. I think when I left off last time, we were around this area and I had a trend drawn here, right? Turns out, as time went by, I said I was concerned about this being resistance level. It also could be a one leg up, two legs up, so you had a confluence of two measured legs up, and it turned it out that prices couldn't push through there, so they fell back down. So at this point, I was looking for something that's, maybe giving me some idea that this is going to go back down. Is this going to be an interim, range here between this level and this level? And turns out price could not push down, and it got stuck here and pushed up. All right, so what I did at first, move all these lines. Once we got up here, we pushed up I'm not looking, even if this sets up nice here, I'm probably not looking to take anything because you've got one leg up, two legs up, breaking out of this resistance area. It's trying to retest it. It does retest and succeed and starts going higher. And once it got up to like here, then I'm looking at, is this something that's valid that I could use? We can see this breaks through here, um, but we have to keep in mind that on a higher time frame, this could just be a wick. So the fact that even early on in the you know potential trend we're looking at here, we push through it. Uh, we push through here. I don't look at this as like a break because it happens so early on. Breaks usually happen after trends get established for a while, and this trend is just getting established. So the fact that this pushed through here is not a big deal. In fact, I flipped over to the 4,000 tick. We can see how this looks on the 4,000 tick chart on a higher time frame. We do see, in fact, that this is just some wicking through here, and we can draw a nice trend off those. So I then, that gave me confidence then that we can use this as a trend. And so let me find my other thing. So when this got up to here and started coming back down, I was looking for maybe some sort of two legs down off the EMA and the trend line to hopefully get something. It doesn't give us anything. It just kind of pushes through, breaking the channel. And now we've got a break of the channel, and this just rockets higher into the new high. And now we've pushed into the overnight highs. So at this point, I'm just sitting on my hands right now because um, I don't know. This trend here has played out. This leg up. At first, we had this as a measured move. We were going here and then here. Um, but the fact that this pushed up through this level and continued higher, um, it's not. This isn't as I wouldn't call this as reliable of a measured move because you're not pushing from the lowest part of the price action. This is the best part to look at this as a measured move, and you can see how we get into the resistance area and the measured move level, and then it falls off. Um, but potentially on a bigger picture, maybe this is a move down, and this is a retest of this level and this move down. So potentially we could look at this as like a second leg up from this, a third leg up. The bigger thing though here is that this trend has now broken and made a new high into the overnight highs. So we just got to kind of sit and wait for price action to reset. I'm not looking for like any, I'm not looking for any long off the EMA because you could just get trapped because this is pretty much you've had your just like we've moved down here a couple ways to our overnight low level. We've now kind of moved up in a couple legs to our overnight high level. So we need to really just sit on our hands and wait and see what this does. Is this going to, we can just come up with a bunch of different things, but really I'm just looking for prices to like reset and establish direction. Now that we've achieved basically the uh, trek up to the back up to the overnight highs, and the trend here has played out. So this could very well just fail back down, and we could start our way back down to the other side, or maybe the bulls are stronger, and we get some sort of like bullish imbalance within this range, and then it wants to go higher. We just have to wait and see. So there's just nothing to trade right now. Um, so that's what I see so far this morning. Hey guys, I also forgot to mention, just got lost here in talking about stuff that once this broke and pushed up, um, just for some perspective, I put this on here like this because we've got three nice touches here. Then I move this up here, and this appears to fit off this also. I'm not using it though yet until it would kind of later confirm or establish. Maybe price like pushes up here and then gets a couple legs down, bounces off here and then moves up again, because in the nearest term, this trend here has broken and made a new high. So I'm not, like I said, drawing wider trends and trying to rely on them before they've kind of gotten established is not a good idea. You often just fool yourself into thinking that there's a trend there, and that it's something you can rely on. So I just have this here for some perspective. The fact that this didn't pull back here, this isn't getting to this other side right now, um, gives me what do I want to say, apprehension that this is valid. It's just that since it fit there, I pasted up here and it fits okay right now. I just left it there. Just so like a lot of time doesn't go by and I forget about it and there actually is something there, and I dismissed it early on. So we'll just keep it on there for now. Looks like, prices held the EMA here so far. So even this move up here is now 2 legs and a new high. Although I wouldn't have tried to trade that because this trend here has already played out. So that's it for now. I'll update again when I see something interesting. Hey everybody, just back here with an update. Price action's quite a bit slower today than it has been last few days, last week. So it's about 2 o'clock right now. And I think it's been, we were right in here. It's been over 3 hours since my last update. There's not a whole lot that's going on. Remember we had this wider channel drawn for some perspective. We pushed up here out past the overnight high and just kind of choppy in here. Nothing good to take. Pushed up here to this area, and then we came back here to this trend channel line, continued pushing up, but we're not making it back up to the top of this channel we have drawn, so just have to be aware of that. Just kind of an ugly break here so far, and first I had it drawn like this. Maybe this was a leg and a second leg right there. Then I looked at this as, okay, maybe this is a leg because we got this. Then we pushed up into the EMA and just kind of chopped sideways. Got this bar here, but these 3 bars, wasn't any news, but you can see if you look down at the time down there, this bar, that means it started at 118.55. This bar starts at 121.12. That one prints in 2 seconds. That one prints in 3 seconds. That one prints in 3 seconds. So there's some news or something came out here, gave us the second leg down, right? And then we started pushing back up. So we came down here off the break of this trend in 2 legs. We tested these highs, and then we started pushing up. We got 1 leg. We got a second leg up, and what people will be tempted to do here is they'll be tempted to draw this into a trend channel of some sort, right? And maybe take a trade off this bar. Where's my, here, so I want to show this to you. Is this, or these uniform legs, they appear like they fit well. And although you didn't get, it doesn't appear that you got beat here, there's a very good chance that this almost stopped out this entry right here. And so people are tempted to draw a wider channel off what is just 2 uniform legs. And when you have 2 uniform legs, they're going to appear to form a wider channel because they'll fit real nice. Your lines will fit real good, and some people, they'll be anxious and take a long right there. And although depending on what you're going for, it works out for you, not a good entry in my opinion, because sometimes these legs, they appear to be forming channels, but they're just legs. So that's where we're at right now. There's not a whole lot has happened since this last update here. Nothing here I'd be interested in entering on other than perhaps this, but this closed way too fast, and then these bars printed, just printed so quickly. So although this appears like a decent entry in hindsight, looking at the printed bars on the chart, um, there's no way you're getting in this. You're not even expecting this because what this looks like is this looks like another continuing green bar up, and then all of a sudden it gets slammed down and closes, and this one opens and closes and opens and closes, and so you have no chance to get in this trade, even though on a static printed chart that you would be looking at, you think, oh boy, there's good entry there, but there's no chance for you to get in that. That's why uh, I like talking through these charts as the price action is printing live and not coming back, and marking a bunch of trades with arrows all over the place saying, oh, you could have gone there, you could have gone there, because that doesn't really help anyone. Um, if you can't show people how that you're actually trading in real time, you shouldn't be creating what quote unquote lessons teaching people how to trade, because if you can't prove you're doing it yourself, then showing people from static charts is not really helping anyone. Anybody can go through this and look at where swings occurred and where prices moved and say, oh yeah, I could have just entered there. Yeah, you can see, yeah, like all this static here. It's real easy to mark this as maybe, oh, I'll just short right there after the bars are printed, but that's not obvious when you're looking at it in real time. So I'm just trying to describe what I'm seeing here in real time. And we got two legs up, and now we're struggling again here to go higher. So just have to, not sure again we'll get anything today. It's already 2 o'clock, 2 hours left, and the chart and the market being open today, and it's not printing very quickly. And it's kind of uncertain. I had to guess, if I had to guess based on this, and we've come back and tested here, that in some fashion this will try to push for a new high at least before it tries to correct. But there's just nothing here that there's no structure here that you can trade off of. Was there something I was looking? I think I talked about that earlier. Back in here, I was looking for something. Talked about that earlier in the chart or in the video, but um, yeah, there's just nothing. So that's all I have for right now. I'll come back. It might be the end of the day. Next updates. It's not moving too quickly today, but we'll see. Everybody, just back here to wrap it up for the day. All right, when we left off, we were kind of talking about this, how people can get stuck on this trend here. Uh, this They can perceive this to be like a wider channel that's forming off these two measured legs up. You can see if someone had entered there, they just about got stopped out. I mean, there's really no um, if you take a trade like that, it takes that much heat on you, um, and then goes back up. This could very easily, come down one more tick, stop people out, and then gone higher. Um, so basically, what we had here is we had this whole big uptrend, two-legged break, and like I discussed, this happened so fast, there was no way to try to get in this as a long. And then what happened is, just this kind of sluggishly retested the high, and then once it retests the high, then it sells off. And what I was hoping to get something here, um, but it just gives us garbage. Um, we get this, so we get this trend down. We're looking for a retest, which there it is. It does retest, but it just doesn't give you any clean setup to get in with the retest. Saw this leg one. I was looking for something else up, maybe something like this to get a nice signal, and you just get this pushes up, it goes into congestion, and then it just barely pushes up again, and you get this kind of ugly looking bearish bar with stem on both sides. And if you're shorting right into the MA, you're shorting right back into this congestion area. So, you know, uh, a better setup would have been here if we would have if we this would have kind of pushed up a little bit higher and gave you let me see, a bar like if this would have if this move would have finished with a bar like this right here, or something, something close to it, where you're getting in on the end of the move. You're not getting in on the move like 3 points into the move back down into the EMA. That's something we're looking for. And I was even looking for a, with this being, uh, I was looking for two legs up there. Um, so then would have had this as like our second leg. So here comes the push down. And even if we could have got like a bearish bar off the EMA here, I would have looked at that for a lower high. Um, 'Cause you've got 2 points there. Um, but you just get this ugly bullish bar, can't enter on that, and then you're back up above here, and this is like 459, or I'm sorry, 359. So I'm not going to enter there. So we're just having a difficult time getting the price action to print clean setups for us, and this has just not been printing very cleanly. Um, I don't think there is a single trade. I don't even know, because that's so stemmy. I don't even know if that would have printed uh yeah, with a reasonable time to get into it, because just these bars just happen so quickly. I don't There's some flush down here. Um to come down and reach this, it happened quickly. Couldn't get in it. Excuse me. But as I look over the chart, I mean, obviously there's not as much price in action here today as there had been, but I don't really see anything. Um, there's push up here and one leg, two legs, but you're just right back into these highs here. Not much room to get out from those highs. I don't really see anything else that looks like something I'd want to enter today. Just ugly bar printings today. The only other place I kind of thought about looking for something, and then when it's printing this slowly, there's few and far between setups that are going to print for you anyway, because there's just not much price action to go over. So I do not really see anything here. We had this. I already talked about this. Not going to talk about that again earlier in the video. Um, this kind of fits here, but I don't really like that, because this is if you just had this in a vacuum, this looks like a nice clean trend, but this is not in a vacuum. This trend is a retest of this previous high. So when you get this trend, it's a retest of a it's a printing as a retest of a previous trend's high. Then you can't I can't really look for a break of this in a retest, because this is the retest. So, and sometimes people will get tripped up on that. They'll find these secondary channels that are just printing it. It's the price action is wide enough that it looks like its own trend, but it's really just a retest of this trend. Um, and when you know what you're looking at, that's, I mean, it's pretty clear. A lot of people won't have it drawn like this, and they won't see this as a two-legged break in a retest, but that's what it is. So, I'm not, when as this breaks here, I'm not looking to try to get any longs here for, a retest of this high, because this high has already retested that high. And then you get this downtrend, and this is where I'm looking for a couple of legs to try to get in on a trade. I just can't get anything that's um, um, looks safe to get in on to take a trade. So, I'm not going to take a trade when the price action is not giving you something that looks reliable. there's a lot of guys today that probably took, whatever, 3, 5, 7 trades that maybe you watch. Um, and maybe somebody's chart printed in a different way. Like maybe I'm just getting bad printings in certain areas, and maybe somebody else's chart printed bars differently that looked favorable. Like maybe somebody else had, just the way that the data is loading. Maybe they had something. Well, this is just printing too fast, but I don't know. Maybe there's somebody. Sometimes you'll see somebody else's chart, and they'll have price action that's printing a little clearer. I've seen some traders charts last couple weeks. They trade a 2,000 tick chart also, but they had it at the entry points where you're looking for setups. They had good printings to give you a good bar to try to get in on the reverse of the momentum. And I didn't. So just keep being patient, and tomorrow is another day. So I'll be back with another video tomorrow. I'll see you then.